This is ContactTalkRadio.com. Consciousness in action. And you are taking action into your consciousness by tuning into Contact Talk Radio.
And on TuneIn.com, Hing.fm, and UpSnap Mobile.
Contact Talk Radio.
Welcome to Transformation with Tara Sutphen. Tara Sutphen is the author of Blame It on Your Past Lives and Soul Agreements. 3 audio CD series, metaphysical meditations, sourcing series, and sleep programming. Tara has also collaborated with Emmy Award-winning Shane Stanley and Marla Maples on numerous DVDs. Tara Sutphen is a master in the psychic sciences. If you'd like to find out more about Tara's work, upcoming seminars, and meditations to help you fulfill your dreams, visit her website at tarasutphen.com.
Welcome to Transformations with Tara. This is Tara Sutphen. And my guest today is Jason D. McKean. He is known as the Om Dog Wizard. He's heard as the voice of Om chants on albums and in meditations that have sold over 1 million copies worldwide. His albums include Om Sanctuary, 108 Sacred Ohms, Om Eternity, Om Serenity, Om Eternal. Also, you have Om Indigenous now too, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And Om Beat. He has a whole series plus meditations with the Om behind them. They're really beautiful. So you can catch Jason at so many stores now in Los Angeles as he does wizard readings. And welcome, Jason McKean.
Thank you very much, Tara. Thank you so much for having me this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, we thought
there are a bunch of different Om albums out there. Like you mentioned Om Beats. That's like a ucha 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 Om. It's like it's spiritual, and yet it's kind of the opposite of. It's like you wouldn't use it for relaxing. You would use it for invigorating. You know, that beat just like makes it so that you it's like drinking a cup of coffee, like a cup
wake up,
a spiritual coffee.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute, because waking up, we're talking today about meditation and the vortexes, since I have a mystic training next week, and and tarot cards, because we know a lot about that, and we wanted to talk about basically the difference on meditation techniques, and that Om beat is very much like awakening. And awakening is something that, so many people are feeling so fearful about what is their next step that they're to take in their lives. Mm-hmm. I mean, where do I go? Why do I want to go there? Why do I have to change? That's a lot of it. People ask me all the time, that they don't really want to change. And I always have to put out there that we're moving at like 65 million miles a minute through space. The Earth is. Only gravity is keeping us here. And then, I just found out too that we're going like 125 million miles an hour, our universe through the Milky Way. So us being afraid of change is like, we shouldn't be afraid of that.
It's a little silly, right? To be afraid of movement.
Yeah, movement and adventure. Yeah. We're on the adventure. Let's live it. And that's not to be reckless. I don't believe in reckless adventuring. I believe in solid adventuring. That's for sure. That means that you have your feet on the ground, that, you try not to become a mindless human by inebriating yourself every 5 seconds with drugs or alcohol. I love consciousness. It is my thing to help people to become a strong mind. And I know that's Jason's goal on the planet as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that when we are in sync with our purpose, why we're here on the planet, that emanates from us, and we can build solid relationships with people, with our family, with our extended family, friends, our community, it just ripples out. And so when we are in touch with ourself, and that's knowing in our heart and our mind. It's knowing in these places that we can't fool ourselves. And if we are fooling ourselves, then we tend towards like the masking, towards the inebriating ourselves, or putting our a layer of of where we're trying to escape, that part of ourselves. So I think it's important to, meditation is a way of tapping into, that inner voice, that purpose of why we're here.
Yeah, because escaping, that's a really interesting word, escaping, because are we going to really escape the karma? Even if we leave the earth, are we going to escape our problems, our worries, our idiosyncrasies? Doubt it. Doubt we'll really be able to escape things.
Yeah, along with like alcohol, drugs, and all that, you have like so many things in society of binge viewing, binge eating, where it's just like where one overdoes it. Right. It's about that balance, losing balance within ourselves. And again, meditation is a way to put ourself back into balance, to correct the equilibrium within ourselves.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's almost like everything can be too much in life. And we're going through this political time now. It's coming down to the wire. There's a lot of fear around that. There's not a lot of necessarily, and not everybody's simpatico. People are listening, I think, a little more, but they are in fear with it instead of in flow. Mm-hmm. And no matter who's running or who's anything, I think that people just kind of like, oh my goodness, what is the America, or what is the world getting themselves into in the next phase mm-hmm. of a 4-year period? But mm-hmm. I think that if everybody concentrates on themselves first and creates their reality the best they can, then that ripples out. There's mm-hmm. no doubt that it ripples out and makes for everybody to be a wholesome part of society. Then it will just ripple.
I think that the aspect
I think that's the more meaningful part of it.
Yeah, that aspect of overwhelm too. It's like we can only do what we can do as people. As an individual, and it's like our responsibility is to go out and vote. As far as that's all we can do, right? We can join groups, we can try to be a voice in our community, but it's about doing our part in it, and the individual who allows themselves that permission to if extending themselves to the larger community, if that's kind of in their nature, then that's what they're going to do, right? Not everyone does that, and so it's about taking what it is that we do have, taking who we are, and being the best person within that definition of ourself.
Yeah. And everybody knows, that I'm 0.01 degree away from, one of the parties. And, so there's a lot of wisdom that we do together that, we don't talk about, but that we always stay really centered and we build people. We don't, no matter what, we have to build ourselves first and make sure that we're putting our best foot forward every moment. And, so, you know, I mean, I've always found my life to be very interesting as far as who comes in my sphere. But it's been definitely very interesting this year. Yeah. And it's all good. It's going to be fine, you know, but really that fear thing is interesting for all of us. You know, I mean, I try not to be in any sort of fear at any time with, cause you know, people like to be reckless. And it comes from all areas of your life. It can be politics down to your children, down to their friends, down to, you know, whatever else that's happening in your life. Luckily, my kids are in pretty good shape, but these days, but you know, they used to be wild teenagers. Yeah. So I've been there with a lot of people who are like, oh my goodness, you know, am I ever going to like come into the next stage of my brain being saved?
With Tara, with the aspect of fear and all, it's like, you know, it's like fear of the unknown, right? It's like people have question marks, you know, and do you feel that you're able to see kind of past the corners a little bit so that, you know, you just know that what's coming up ahead is not as gargantuan as, you know, our fears make it out to be?
Yes. Yeah, sometimes. And, you know, I mean, of course there's accidents and there's horrible, disease in the world. And so, you know, the people are dealing with, you know, the health issues and, you know, that sort of thing. And I'm not really talking about that so much because, you know, we definitely need to offer solace for those who are in really dire need of some peace and some, soothing. But for just the general people who worry unnecessarily, and I don't mean unnecessarily like it's a trite thing. I mean that there's a cause for concern about things, and then there's something that you can do about it, and there's something that you can do for you as far as to make yourself a solid person and to come back into your center. You know, that you don't whine about things, that you actually move your body towards active movement of doing the right thing at the right time. You don't fight with people. You don't, you're not unnecessarily, you know, tipping an apple cart. I mean, why? Why do people do this? You know, that have to upset their lives every 5 minutes for some kind of drama or a reaction they're not getting from somebody because they haven't settled their mind. They haven't settled their heart. They haven't settled their soul. It's like, settle it. Mm-hmm. You know, this is your job on the planet, is to settle yourself and to give solace to those who need it, you know, to help people walk through whatever dark days that they have. So, and that would be everyone. I feel that's everyone on the planet. Now, as far as coming back to that, you know, where meditation really helps you on so many levels. And I have gone throughout the whole world the last year at different meditation techniques with my friend Patty Stanger, who's the millionaire matchmaker. We've just ran the whole world, haven't we, Jay?
Oh yeah. From the meditations there that you did with at the John of God Center to the Shasta with the Sikhs there. It's like different techniques, different disciplines, but the goal is still one of connection with your inner voice, the divine. What did you find was like kind of the common threads?
Oh, well, it's interesting. It was all different. And what I found for one person was not necessarily for another person. Mm-hmm. And what quiets the mind or wakes you up enough to, really deal with the earth and deal with these, worries that everybody has.
Yeah.
So what I found, I mean, I was very very blessed, and that it was such an amazing opportunity to be asked by Gurudev Singh, who is he's the Sikh saint of the world. They have only one saint, and it is Gurudev.
Wow.
And so that was really wonderful opportunity. And I was his psychic reader for 2 weeks, and that was in the beginning of September in Mount Shasta as his personal psychic reader. So I read for him, and I read for everybody who came to the retreat. Actually paid me to read for them. So it was really wonderful. And
it was busy too, right?
I was busy from way in the morning to about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And they're very amazing. The Sikhs are amazing. They believe that they come in as a reflection of God. And so that's why they don't cut their hair. That's why the turbans are commitments. It is not a religion per se. It is a lifestyle. And they believe that their body is a temple. So, and then they use Kundalini Yoga, which I believe are the keys. It's actually unlocking chambers of the brain and maybe keys of the universe within people. So that, though, of the meditations, that's the hardest. And when sitting with Gurudev, I was with him for 6 hours at a time.
Whoa.
And you're in lotus position on the, your yoga mat. Yep. And 6 hours is a long time to sit. When I'm not used to really sitting that long with Guru, but I was part of the entourage of 6 of us. And so that was quite an honor and beautiful. I must say, really beautiful. And I felt very privileged. And so it was great to do it, but it was a lot of work for sure. Because when I wasn't sitting with him, I was with everybody else. And then if he summoned me, I had to go with him and have them reschedule some of my appointments.
You didn't break in the middle of a reading, right? Like you're telling someone, oh, and you're going to meet this guy, and
no, they would tell me,
I'm being called, got to go.
Right.
Leave you on hold here.
Well, a little bit. It was a little bit like that, but it was.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you drop everything because you're summoned. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, he's the saint of the Sikh nation. So, I mean, yeah. And he's wonderful. He's really wonderful. And we had such a great time. He and I have the same birthday. And so that was really a great thing where we came together. And then, he would teach me all sorts of different, psychic modalities through the Kundalini. It was great. It was really great. So he's wonderful. And then.
So what is the purpose or whatever of activating that Kundalini aspect? I mean, what did you have a deeper understanding of what that was exactly?
Right. Well, that's what I was saying. I really think that it's opening chambers of the brain because you have to stay in those positions for 11 minutes for, sometimes 18 minutes, 23 minutes, 22 minutes, 31 minutes. They're always different, but they're different techniques. And as somebody who I work with there, she's really wonderful. She's a Kundalini teacher in the world. And we hung out, walked to the store one morning, and she said to me, that she just wanted to hang out a little bit. And so I thought that was really sweet. And as I was talking to her, I could see a Chinese master coming across her face. And I said, has anyone ever told you that you're a reincarnated Chinese master? And she took down her shirt and showed me her shoulder, and on her shoulder is a birthmark, and it's a dragon. And it's an old-fashioned dragon, this birthmark.
Wow.
It's almost like a tattoo, but it's a birthmark.
Wow.
And
I'm
so I said,
jealous.
I know, isn't
awesome.
it?
Yeah.
Well, we could all be jealous, but she's been in an ashram in India since she was 7 years old because of that birthmark.
Oh, okay. Forget it. I'm not jealous
Right.
anymore. No.
Right. So she's somebody who's, she's definitely a healer in the world, and she's in Europe right now, and we text every day. But her name's Mahani, and she's a wonderful, wonderful teacher and very, so fun. So that was fun just to see that and talk to her about it, and then she showed me that. Yeah, and then I really asked her a lot of questions about that, and have continued to ask her questions. And
right.
She asked questions. Fun.
Yeah, that's amazing when that's like stamped so prominently on one's personage, where it's like, this is who you are going to be in the world, just from an early age there. Right.
And so she took out her hair and she's never cut it. Mm-hmm, and so her hair's, she has beautiful blonde hair. And, I said she was Rapunzel, like, oh my goodness. It's
super long hair, huh?
Oh, it's past the ground.
What? Past the ground?
Past the ground. Yeah. It's like a foot longer than the ground.
Wow.
It was great. So let's talk about the different techniques.
I mean, I could be a Sikh, I'm totally into the hair.
Oh, you look like a Sikh, actually.
Yeah.
You look like
I'm
one of them.
Totally there. I'm totally
there. They all have their beards. Not everybody, because I knew who everybody, I was the most popular reader. Yeah. And, so I knew everybody practically. And, it's an egoless type of, everything is about service to mankind. Mm-hmm. And so, there were Google people there. There was, people that are in the biggest projects of the world there. Really huge projects. And
serving
humanity, big executives of everywhere. You would never know that they were Sikhs because they didn't have beards or, they just practiced the keys.
Yeah.
But that's hard. That's the hardest meditation. Of all the meditations, that's the hardest. And then the easiest meditation that is really creates a lot of present state within everyone is transcendental meditation. That is a Maharishi who, George Harrison, loved so much. Yeah. And he's gone since 2008, but he has a wonderful foundation. In LA, was where I took it. And, it's relaxing. Like, when you do their yoga practice, it's a self massage, and it's not hard at all. And I mean, my mother could do it. Our mother.
No way.
Jason.
No way.
Yeah.
Even
that's how easy the yoga part of it is a self massage. And then you meditate for 20 or 22 minutes and you have a mantra, and they give you the mantra. It's part of the puja that they give you. They ask Maharishi to come and to give you the mantra, give them the mantra for you. And then you work on the mantra, and you never tell your mantra, and it does put you in a super present state. That I really like. And you're supposed to do it 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes at night.
I think if we get Mom to do it, then we should tell her that she also has to listen to the Beatles' White Album while she's practicing TM.
Well, she'll probably be fine.
Just to get her.
Yeah, well, it's Dad who we would have got, who's been dead many, many years, but
our dad was not a fan of the Beatles, much less the Maharishi Mahesh.
No, but he did have to live with Jason and I for a few years there when we were adults, and had to come around to, talking about psychic things and hypnosis. And of course, hypnosis, Jason and I both have a line of hypnosis CDs and MP3s, and I have DVDs even.
Yeah, you've got like 50 titles or so. I just have a handful.
Yeah, but I mean, Jason has the ohm behind his, which is really fun if you're into. Yeah, if you're into the ohm, it's all good.
It's very, very powerful, the ohm.
Yeah, and I find that it's all about strengthening the mind. That's why I like hypnosis. It was all about if you really want to go to the next level of something. And for my MP3s and CDs, I'm always tricking you. That's my thing, you're going on some kind of a journey, or you're listening to one of my CDs, but in reality, I'm just taking you in, and then my instructions on what you're doing is changing your perspective or deepening you in some way so that you'll be able to accept the learning or the love or the success or money or accomplishing your goals. And some of them are multiple, but it's definitely about allowing the subconscious to move out of the way and to come into your conscious mind, into awakened conscious mind. And sometimes we can't awaken fully into manifest form. And so it's just easier to kind of not so much fool ourselves, but to tell a story or go along with the meditation. And then, I've helped you do the work to unblock.
That's a fascinating aspect that you just brought up, as far as like the idea of like tricking someone, because I think that as humans, we love stories. We love stories. And, when it's done in a story format, it's almost like watching a movie, and it has moved you so much that you have opened up either a new layer within yourself. You've seen a part of yourself there. But it's not that it has tricked you in that it's an inauthentic experience. It is a real experience. The part of you that is being revealed is a real part of you. It's just that the vehicle in which it's been enabled has been just kind of it's not a direct way of now saying, okay, experience like your greatest joy, or experience how you would feel about seeing a feather on the pathway, right? It's like it's done in a shamanic way, in a poetic way, in a heart-centered way too, where one can again like reveal a layer underneath a layer underneath a layer, in a way that one does not consciously fight it, and one does not like be too much in their head about it. So I think it's a really powerful way of again like showing these parts of ourself to ourself, and that's what meditation, like I think the basis of it is when we go in, right, and we're able to look at these parts of ourselves that we wouldn't normally pay attention to.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean we tend to not want to be. It's so much easier to actually do that sometimes, to go into a state of easy flow where you're just going to start to reprogram your mind of, oh yeah, no, I can let that go so that I can have the love of my life and, upcoming, or I can get to a successful place where I'm making money and I'm really happy about my job, stuff like that. Or that you're just happy every day. So many people fight just the energy of every day, that they feel the gravity weighing them down. And it's like, no, it's all reprogramming of the mind. Mm-hmm. And, I wanted to tell everybody, like with the Om chants, when I wanted to read Jason's, We're on Setmore, where you can book an appointment with either Jason or me or Cheyenne, actually. Cheyenne Van Sutphen, who is my daughter, who does tarot, and she's a psychic chef. And she's mostly a chef these days, but she does tarot too, and she's really fun.
She's very psychic.
Yeah. Yeah, always has been ever since she was a little kid. You know, when she was 2.5, she was telling me about Teotihuacan and everything about it, that the strangers had come in and painted the city red, and you know, we were writing a book at the time about it. So it was very interesting. And then and about the 4 kitties. You know, she said 4 kitties, but it was the 4 jaguar gods and what colors they were. And she knew all the real names of everything. And then, another time she said, I went to another planet, and that planet was called China. And then she told me about how they took little tiny baby steps, little baby steps. And so those little baby steps, of course, is when they've bounded women's feet.
Yeah.
And right. So she would say all sorts of things like that. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And this kid really, you know, definitely born into the right family of me listening to her. That's for sure.
Right.
Right. But, you know, I wanted to talk about Jason's programs. They carry the sound of the Om and a simple state of grace which embodies the 4 stages of being. That is what Om is. The 3 sounds in Om represent waking, dreaming, deep sleep, and the sound of silence. It is known as an internal symbol of which all exist. It is a prayer in and of itself. God sees us in love. God sees us in peace. God sees us awakened in the garden of life. So that is the Om. And then, so that's what Jason embodies into his line of CDs and his and MP3s. You can find those, Jason, you have those at omdogom.com, and you have those on iTunes.
Yeah.
And
iTunes, Amazon. They're purchased throughout the world there through those venues. I think people like the solidity of iTunes, of Amazon, these platforms that, you know, they know that they're, you know, they probably buy a lot of stuff anyway from them, you know, anyway. So, they're just good platforms to get, the albums, or, if you're into streaming, it's on Spotify and all that. So it's all out there. And that's all, pretty much all the meditations there, or at Om has, it has some of the meditations that are, like the Be in Wealth meditation, the Great Health, coping in life, the now moment, as far as like someone who wants to be in more of a present state and not so much, you know, just like, in the past or in the future. Really, you know, powerful meditations, just infused with, again, that essence of the Om, which is this, you know, it's not so much the key that unlocks the door. It is the door. It's the, you know, it's like the Om is everything, right?
Mm-hmm. What is the prayer in and of itself? It is a prayer.
Yeah. And it's a
sound of the universe.
Beautiful realm. And it, you know, it goes out to so many places in the world. And I'm truly, you know, humbled by, you know, that it's not something that is of me, you know, it's not my creation at all. I'm just a facilitator of it. And it's, I've talked about how, you know, that journey was kind of a, you know, an accident, quote unquote, where it wasn't, you know, I didn't spend my life in an ashram growing up, you know, just in prayerful, resonance with that sound. It kind of like discovered me, right?
It really did. You're right. It was your calling to.
But it is something that there is a connection. I mean, it's undeniable, and so I pay real reverence to that sound and how I put it out there in the world. It's like all of the albums that I've created since, like the first few that have just really are staples out there in the yoga world or the meditation halls. It's like there's a lot of thought and again reverence towards this sound and all. So even Om Beats is like as much as it's a it kind of seems more like it's a cultural, like it's a way of introducing the that sound to the younger generation. And again, it has a purpose. It serves a purpose of invigorating, of if someone wants to study to it, if someone wants to just do a waking meditation to it, if they want to dance to it, it's dance is a form of beauty as well. Not when I do it, not when I dance.
No, you better sit down.
It becomes like,
you better stick to your day job.
Sit down, please.
Right, not the rhythm movement. But you have it in your head. You have it in your head.
Yeah,
and so put it out there.
Of course. And yeah, it's like, that movement and all. One can still, either, do other activities to it. But it is very, very powerful, and it's blessed. It's because it's just, it's the energy of all things, that permeates all things. So.
Oh yeah. No, I know it is. It's wonderful. So now, so do you have anything that you're cooking up for upcoming? Do you have any new CDs, or are you producing anyone right now that you would want to share? Or?
There's nothing that I have been working with a few friends in producing some of their music, finishing up some projects that got started a long time ago. And there's always a possibility of there's talk out there,
right.
and that's how things can begin. That's just like planting seeds and then letting those seeds blossom. There's talk of creating a new Om album, but with a supported with a different type of background, so another meditative space. Because this idea of meditation, right, and of music and all, it's like if you think about the world religions and all, it's like each one is supported by music, right? It's like my wife was just in Istanbul, and from the mosques there at 5 a.m, something like that, they start doing the prayer chants and all. It's music, right? It's like you go into, like, we grew up in a Lutheran church. It's like the big pipe organ and choirs and all that. That's music that supports the doctrine, the theology. You go to
and she's
a
Japanese.
Hindu temple.
And she's Japanese. She was raised Buddhist.
Right,
yeah.
Right. And the Buddhists, they have their music, that supports the atmosphere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as, like the Hindu temples, they have like the lively,
kirtans,
the drums and it's like that environment, it creates a space, right? For meditation, but the goal, I mean, do you feel that meditation, like, that there's an aspect of someone who wants to either clear themselves, clear their mind, or set intentions, kind of try to find out who they are?
Well, a lot of meditation is to to clear it up. Now I went to Vedanta. I went to a Vedanta class in an appointment with a monk one day in Thailand with Patty. Patty and I went. And boy, that was hard work. Oh boy. And you're supposed to clear your mind, much like Zen monasteries and there's like different techniques of where you're supposed to clear your mind. Mm-hmm. Like TM, it gives you a mantra. So you're clearing your mind with your mantra, and being in your present state.
So do you repeat the mantra over and over and over to?
Yeah, you listen to it. Like I always, when I'm doing my mantra, I listen to it like as if I'm listening to it on a stereo.
Okay.
Yeah. Like it's coming through a speaker system and I'm just relaxing while listening to it. I mean, it's coming from me, but that's how I like to do it. And then you feel really refreshed and really awake and clear. It is a nice clearing. Now, if I'm working on something though, I want to come into my really deep hypnosis. I want to go the wormhole. I'm really into the energy, the mysticism, the shamanism. I have always been there. I mean, I know, probably most of the big players in the world who are mystics and who are shaman of the world. Mm-hmm. That is who I resonate with and who I've come together with over and over and over. I don't know why, but that's just been my mission on earth, I guess. And same with Jason, actually. That's been his mission as well, to come together with people who are trying to create a difference in a really spiritual and beautiful way. Mm-hmm. Through this mind programming of, okay, let's be in our flow of the Earth's energy. And see, the Indians call it the Om, whereas, the East Indians call it, and through the Sanskrit word, the Om, which is the prayer. But in reality, it's what the sound of the planet, scientifically, it makes a sound, and that is what they call it. Whereas we just, in the Western world, don't have names for it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so, but the sound, the resonating with the sound of the earth. And, like I had somebody who came on, Atlantis was probably really into that, you heal yourself through sound.
That sound vibration and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I started to catch a cold this week, and instead of, I can't do the mantra of TM to clear the cold. I mean, I really have to go and work it. Whereas, it started to go into a cough and into my chest, and it didn't do any of that. It just took away my voice. Mm-hmm. So I realized, I really concentrated of, getting rid of it. But, I probably needed a few more days of really working at it on a sound level of vibrating with the earth. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, but it sounds like it kept it from going deeper.
Oh yeah. No, I only had it a few days. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's just my voice. So the thing, and maybe I needed to be quiet, so it's been a nice quiet week that way of, just being a center, trying to find my center and, doing, my work, getting ready for the next few weeks because I'm traveling all over the place again. So anybody, there's lots of room left, in Sedona, and, I don't say lots because it's only limited to 15. There's a few places left in Sedona for the Mystic training. And, I would like to keep it down to 15 so that I can have personal time with everybody. And we make it a party. It's a great time. New Zealanders coming, New Yorkers coming. It's going to be fun. It's really going to be fun.
Yeah. What's the date for that?
29th and 30th.
Of October.
Yep. Next week.
And people can go to,
next weekend. Mm-hmm.
They go to your TaraSutphen.com.
Yeah, they can go to Tara Sutphen.
To sign up.
TaraSutphen.com to sign up. It's a Mystic training, and or you can catch it on my Facebook or my Twitter, and then I'm in Alaska. I'm doing training in Alaska, November 8th. So I'll be in Anchorage. So I should put that out there. I haven't put that out there yet for the general public, but I can put that out there as far as if I'm up there for readings, if anybody wants a reading, or if you want to come in and be certified for being a hypnotist.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's going to be fun. Most proceeds of that go to Awakening Spiritual Unity, which I'm president of a Native Alaskan nonprofit corporation. And so that's for our project up there, which is bringing back, strengthening the minds of all the Native Americans in Alaska, which are 329 villages and 20 languages. There's 100,000 Native Americans in Alaska.
Wow.
So it's a big project. And I can't believe that the Arctic is always calling my name. You know, I've been talking on Facebook for days with all of my old friends from the Alaska Pipeline when I worked there. I have worked above Pump Station 1 at
Point Barrow, right?
Yeah, I worked at Prudhoe Bay.
Prudhoe Bay.
Yeah, Prudhoe Bay. Yeah, we flew into Dead Horse. We were paid to be on the airplane. And yeah, I worked about Pump Station 1 for British Petroleum when I was a teenager.
Yeah, you were like 18, 19, something like that?
Yeah, I was 19 to 21. Yeah. Only a few years, but boy, it was like living on the moon. And, but all those people, you know, it's like we were on the moon together, so we all know each other still.
Yeah.
And little moonbeams. Yeah.
You know, one thing I wanted to ask as far as, you know, kind of like about the meditative part is, do you feel everyone is cut out for the quiet meditations, or, you know, because some of the clients I see, I say, you know what, I see, you know, where you need to like kind of center yourself and do something, but maybe in a more active meditation, whether it's like either taking a walk or sitting there and knitting, or, you know, where you're busy doing something kind of repetitive or whatever, but you're not just fighting yourself by sitting in the lotus and in the
right.
or in that quiet space. What do you think of that?
Well, I think that then you need to do hypnosis MP3s as you're going to sleep, or do even the TM for 20 minutes. You'll get used to that. But my thought process of meditation is that it, you know, you start with the mind. You know, you want ideas, you want your talent, you want clarity. You are a clear thinking person. You know, you have been born to be a clear thinking human. And so, you know, you feel that you're going to clear your mind of all the craziness or any sort of ideas that don't mesh with being clear thinking. Mm-hmm. And that it comes in your mind and your communication skills, your voice, your speaking ability, your expressions, all are in sync with your actions. And when you come into balance in those three, you know, the mind, your voice, and your active movement. Because, you know, some people like will talk about what they want to do in life, but then they don't do it. You know, they're dreamers. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, or I had that idea and I could have made $1 million, you know, being the inventor of this. Yep. Or I could, you know, you speak it, but you don't do it. You know, and so it's a process of coming back into sync. And so that's where the meditation kind of helps you go into, where whenever you're stepping forward, you're stepping into a clear state of where you're supposed to go in life, that you're walking a beautiful life instead of a wayward life or a chaotic life or going in the wrong direction. You know, you're going in a right direction. And you know that when you do certain things in life where you're a good person, that you're, you know, that you're working toward a success, it can be slow as a turtle as long as you're going in the right direction. And you'll get there. You will get there. Just continue, just wake up, say, no, this is going to be a good day. Even if, I can offer solace, I can, step over some of these boundaries that society makes, like the bills and what they think that, I tell a lot of my clients, and I have clients everywhere from janitors to $100 million deals, musicians and actors and you name it, so I have the gamut. Mm-hmm. But the thing is it's always stepping toward where you're waking up and where you're going throughout the day. Like set the tone. And we need a lot of help sometimes with mind programming. So coming into meditating for just a moment, or just even, even a prayer, a little prayer. But it's not a begging thing, or that your prayer is going to be better than, say, prayers in Africa or something, It's about you. It's about you coming into your balance. So stepping forward. And that's what I teach in the Mystic training. Actually, I'm teaching you that the actual ways to get there a little faster than just doing it through meditation. I'm taking you into the advanced part of it. Yeah. Which you don't have to be, you can be a beginner, if you're too much of a beginner, you may not get it, but still, answer questions. I believe that everybody who comes into my classes, everybody is supposed to learn from everyone else. So we all become the student to learn from one another.
Absolutely.
I just happen to be, I own my being a teacher many years ago, but I love it. I'm always learning, love, the vibrancy of life. We're on the adventure. We gotta, now my life changed a lot over the years. I mean, Jason knows, and his life changed a lot too. We've always been in this business though, so we know that the mind programming business and strengthening the mind is an important part of where our dharma or our service to mankind is. And so when, that's where I stay in my everyday part of life.
Yeah, I'm a graduate of your Mystic training. I was a 98-pound psychic weakling there before I went to your training, and now I'm the Reverend Wizard in Los Angeles. So yeah. My website. It looks like we're getting the countdown, right? Website.
Oh, we are.
JasonDMcKean.com. I've got a psychic fair that I'm working this weekend, Saturday at the Green Man in North Hollywood. So if anyone is, wanting to choose from a bunch of psychics, and I will also be there, that's happening. That's on my website, but also it's like, tap in through Facebook and to all the other Instagram, Twitter, all these other social medias. But thank you, Tara, for having me.
Yeah, it's great, Jason. Always great. And next week I'm in Sedona, Mystic training. You can catch me at TaraSutphen.com or on my Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, wherever you want to catch me. Anyway, blessings, everyone. Lots of love.
Thank you for sharing your time with Tara Sutphen. Find out more about Tara's work, upcoming seminars, and meditations to help you fulfill your dreams by visiting her website at TaraSutphen.com.